Hey guys, it's Audra and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do a reaction to the list of books for the MomAdvice Book Club for 2022 list. Now, I'm not a mom, but every year she releases this list, and usually there's like a handful of books that I've already been interested in or I already own, that it just makes sense to kind of like join in the fun of reading a book a month and then joining in the conversation if I want, maybe not. But also, like, I'm just a sucker for the t-shirt that they sell on Bonfire. And so I'm like, if I'm gonna own that t-shirt, I need to read the books. So today I'm just gonna see what's on the list. I know a couple of them I already have, so I know what they're about, but the other ones I don't know anything about. So going through the list, we have in January, The 9 Lives of Rose Napolitano, and it has a beautiful cover. However, I have never heard of this story before. So we're going to click over and see what this is about. It says a novel, probably. A lot of these tend to be literary fiction, I think. So it says, a deeply moving novel about a woman who thought she'd never want to be a mother, and the many ways that life can surprise us. Ooh, that kind of gives me the chills, because that's like kind of one of my mindset things I'm working on right now of, I'm 33. Do I want this? Do I not? So it says, Rose is fighting with her husband, Luke, about prenatal vitamins. She promised she'd take them, but didn't. He promised before they got married that he'd never want children, and now he's changed his mind. Their marriage has come to rest on this one question. Can Rose find it in herself to become a mother? Rose is a successful professor and academic. She never wanted to have a child. The fight ends, and with it, their marriage. Okay. So there's a little bit more to this, but it's all surrounding this question of having a child, which is insane. How hard that is hitting home right now. It says a stunning novel about loss, love, betrayal, divorce, death, a woman's career, and her identity. Okay. Chills. I'm gonna need to buy that one right away. Yes, definitely into that one. So moving on to February, we have In the Wild Light by Jeff Zettner, which here on BookTube, I've loved. You've probably heard of him on BookTube. He's a YA author. I have loved The Serpent King. I've read The Goodbye Days. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that he has written. But I've had, since I saw this pop up on my Libby app, sorry, words are hard, on my Libby app, that I wanted to listen to it, and I've had it checked out a few times, and just because I was reading other stuff, I never got to it. So that link does not work. It sends it right back to the original book that we were looking at. So we're gonna switch it up and try it this way. And I got this one strand of hair that's gonna drive me nuts this whole time. That's okay. All right, it says, life in a small Appalachian town is not easy. Cash lost his mother to an opioid addiction, and his papa is dying slowly from emphysema. Dodging drug dealers and watching out for his best friend Delaney is second nature. He's been spending his summer mowing lawns while she works at Dairy Queen. But when Delaney manages to secure both of them full rides to an elite prep school in Connecticut, Cash will have to grapple with his need to protect and love Delaney and his love for grandparents who saved him in the town he would have to leave behind. Whew. That sounds hard. It says a beautiful examination of grief, found family, and young love. I mean, come on, man. A lot of that hits home really hard. So, okay. I knew I wanted to read it because it was Jeff Zettner, and the audiobooks that get done of his books are extremely well done. But, all right. So far, 2 out of 2 I definitely want to read. And I've seen the one from March pop up a few times. The People We Keep, another novel. This, I believe, is adult novel. Allison Larkin. So we're going to click over and see what this story is, because, again, I'm not sure. Little River, New York, 1994. April Sawicki is living in a motorless motorhome that her father won in a poker game. Failing out of school, picking up shifts at a local diner, she left fending for herself in a town when she never quite felt at home. When she borrows her neighbor's car to perform at an open mic night, she realizes her life could be much bigger than where she came from. Driving without a chosen destination, so maybe like a road trip kind of thing. She falls in love with friends in the new town. Lyrical, luminous tale is both a profound love letter to creative resilience and the reminder that sometimes even tragedy can be kind of a blessing. This sounds amazing too. Like, all right, so definitely want to read that one. I don't know anything about this one, the reading list. I think I put it on my like audiobooks just because the cover looked amazing. And of course it's gonna be about books, assuming that it's related to the cover in some kind of way. So let's see what we got. It says the most heartfelt read of the summer. An unforgettable and heartwarming debut about how a chance encounter with a list of library books helps forge an unlikely friendship between two very different people in a London suburb. Oh my gosh. So you have a widower who has lost his wife. He shops every Wednesday and watches documentaries. He takes care of his granddaughter, blah, blah, blah. Alicia, she's a teenager working at a local library and discovers a crumpled piece of paper in the back of To Kill a Mockingbird. It's a list of novels she's never heard of before. Intrigued and a little bored with her slow job at a checkout desk, she impulsively decides to read every book on the list one after another, and each story gives up its magic. The book transports Alicia from the painful reality she's facing at home. So the widower comes to the library, connects with, oh, that's his granddaughter. The widower's granddaughter works at the library. Their shared books create a connection between two lonely souls. Oh my gosh. I could just cry just reading that. Okay. Yep, I'm definitely gonna get the shirt. There's also this year like bags and cups and like this is so bad. So May, again, the lady's handbook for her mysterious illness. That cover, I love the color blocking on that cover. That's definitely going on my shelves. Let's see here. Clicking over, we have, oh, it's a memoir. Okay. Sarah Raimi. She had a mysterious illness that doctors thought was all in her head, but it wasn't. A revelation and an inspiration for millions of women with legitimate health complaints that are ignored. Wow. Okay. Minor illness in her senior year of college, prolonged and elusive condition, destroyed her health, but doctors couldn't diagnose what it was. Medical mystery. It talks about the basic foundations of health, quality of sleep, diet, social connections to the state of our microbiomes. Wow. That sounds really good. Like, it's a totally different vibe than the others, but it sounds like a definite, like, a really good read. I'm loving it. Okay, moving on to, is this June now? Yep, June. The Tobacco Wives. The cover is gorgeous. So obviously we gotta have something to do, maybe, I don't know. Is this historical fiction? Maybe? This is a story of courage. A woman willing to take the stand in face of a corporate greed and a most definite tale for our times. Maddie is a seamstress who's arrived in North Carolina, the tobacco capital of the South, where her aunt has been thriving as a sewing business. After years of war rations and shortages, Brightleaf is prosperous wonderland, Technicolor boom. Okay, so her aunt's clients recently have been the wives of the tobacco executives. And so she's learning that that's not like a paradise as it seems. She wants to report what she knows about the substantial health problems that they're seeing within these communities and these families. And it talks about like whether or not this town needs big tobacco to survive. She doesn't know who she can trust. And it's shedding a light on the hidden history of women's activism during the post-war period, all based around the big tobacco industry. So wow, yeah, definitely it is historical fiction, 1946. So that sounds good too. I haven't read anything kind of centered around those issues. Now, July, I have already gotten the book of the month from The Fire's Keeper's Daughter by Angeline Booley. I think I tried to start it on audio. This is a chunker of a read, but I just couldn't get through it at the time, but I'm definitely going to try it again. It's 18-year-old Duanis lives on her reservation, or in her hometown on the nearby reservation. Tragedy strikes, and it puts her future on hold to look after her fragile mother. There's something about a hockey team. There's a shocking murder, thrusting her into an FBI investigation of a lethal new drug. Okay, so yeah. I think it's supposed to be like also a thriller. Yeah, an electrifying thriller layered with rich exploration of the modern Native experience and the reckoning of current and historical injustices and the powerful celebration of community. So I knew this sounded amazing. I just need to like get through it. So this actually was on, it says Reese's YA Book Club. So that's kind of cool. August, we have The Five Wounds. It's an interesting cover. Kind of looks like an old school kind of vibe for some reason to me. Clicking over to seeing what this one is about. It's been shortlisted for a bunch of awards. Okay. Let's see. Stunning debut novel about a New Mexican family's extraordinary year of love and sacrifice. It's Holy Week in the small town of Las Peñas, New Mexico, and 33-year-old unemployed Amadeo has been given the part of Jesus in the Good Friday procession, or Jesus. Okay. He's preparing his daughter, who's 15. Whoa. His 15-year-old daughter then shows up pregnant on his doorstep and disrupts his plan for personal redemption. With weeks to go until her due date, though, Angel has fled her mother's house, setting her life on a new path. Ooh, okay, so The Five Wounds spans the first year as 5 generations of this family converge together. Ooh, I love like generational stories. So this sounds really, really good too. Okay. Bringing to life the struggles to parent children they may not be equipped to save. Ooh, that sounds deep. Okay. Yep, gonna read that one too. I'm reading all these obviously, but none of these are ones that I like would not have picked up myself if I would have came across them on my own time. September, we have the Book of Harlan. That looks like historical fiction. Looks like a real photograph, honestly. In the background that was like been folded or something. I'm very intrigued by this cover. Okay. Again, this has tons of awards listed right out the gate. Lots of blurbs. Where is, I have to keep scrolling to get to the okay. The Book of Harlan opens with a courtship of Harlan's parents and his 1917 birth in Macon, Georgia. After his prominent minister grandfather dies, he and his parents move to Harlem, where he eventually becomes a professional musician. When Harlan and his best friend, trumpeter Lizard Robbins, are invited to perform at a popular cabaret in the Parisian enclave of Montmartre, affectionately referred to as the Harlem of Paris by Black American musicians, Harlan jumps at the opportunity, convincing Lizard to join him. But after the City of Light falls under Nazi occupation, Harlan and Lizard are thrown into Buchenwald, a notorious concentration camp in Germany, irreparably changing the course of Harlan's life. Based on exhaustive research and told in McFadden's mesmeric prose, it blends the stories of McFadden's familial ancestors with those real and imagined characters. This is kind of, is it based on a true story? Is it? It's gotta be. Because that's the author's last name. Ooh. Oh my gosh. Another one. Top notch. Okay. Sweet. Moving on to October. Yep. This one does not look in my wheelhouse, so we'll see. This might be the first one I'm like, I don't know about this. A Cosmology of Monsters. My words are not forming correctly today. Blaming it on the chemo brain, as always. So let's see what we got here with this one. It's a horror novel. Noah Turner sees monsters. His father saw them and built a shrine with them, to them with the Wandering Dark, an immersive horror experience that the whole family operates. His practical mother has caught glimpses of terrors but refuses to believe, to focus on keeping the family from falling apart. And his eldest sister, the dramatic and vulnerable Sydney, won't admit to seeing anything but the beckoning glow of the spotlight until it swallows her up. Noah Turner sees monsters, but unlike his family, Noah chooses to let them in. This tells me absolutely nothing. Which, if it's a horror novel, I think that's the way you're supposed to go into it. It says if John Irving ever wrote a horror novel, it would be something like this. I loved it, which is blurb by Stephen King. I don't know how I feel about that one. The other one that I already own is the November one, The 100 Years of Lenny and Margo by Marianne Cronin. I picked this up because it just sounded, as it says in the inside, charming. 17-year-old Lenny lives in the terminal ward at the Glasgow Princess Royal Hospital. Though she's been told she's dying, Lenny still has plenty of living to do. Joining the hospital arts and crafts class, she meets the magnificent Margo, an 83-year-old purple pajama-wearing, fruitcake-eating rebel who transforms Lenny's life in the way she has never imagined. So their friendship blossoms, they start telling each other stories, and between them, the years combined, they lived 100 years, and they left a mark on the world. So it's kind of their stories together, and then showcasing the stories that they have lived throughout the years. And it says, though the end is near, life isn't quite done with these unforgettable women just yet. So I already picked this up. It sounded amazing. It definitely sounds like one I hope to read and then maybe pass to my grandmother, because she loves, I got my love of reading from my grandmother and my great-grandmother. But this just seems like perfect, mixing of different generations to tell beautiful stories about their lives, and it just sounds great. But going on to the last one for December, A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. Okay, so I know I've heard of Becky Chambers. Is it for Small Angry Planet or something like that, maybe? I've not seen this book, though, so this is another one I've never heard. It says Monk and Robot Book 1. So this, I guess, is going to be a new series that gives us hope for the future. It's about robots. I don't do sci-fi. Here we go. It's been centuries since the robots of Panga gained self-awareness and laid down their tools. Centuries since they wandered en masse into the wilderness, never to be seen again. And centuries since they faded into myth and urban legend. One day, the life of a tea monk is upended by the arrival of a robot, there to honor the old promise of checking in. The robot cannot go back until the question of, what do people need, is answered. But the answer to that question depends on who you ask and how. They're going to need to ask it a lot. Becky Chambers' new series, in a world where people have what they want, does having more matter? Okay, well, I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised by that. It's not anything that I would normally pick up by myself, but it sounds like it could have some good talking points and conversation that would make it good for a book club. So I am so pleasantly surprised, and I cannot wait to get this t-shirt ordered. Like I said, I think the coffee mug is gonna have to happen too, because it's got books on it and it's just perfect. But I would love to hear your thoughts on these books. If you've read any of them, please let me know. I'm gonna do my best to keep up to date on the months this time around without going ahead and then sticking with it throughout the year. We'll see. I have some other book lists I would like to work through as well, so that would help get me some accountability, that it's not just one list, but multiple that I would like to get through that I created, and then that other people have created too, that has like a book community that talks through those. So if you want to join in on this book list, I'm going to leave the blog posting down below so you can get to the list yourself, and also the shirts and stuff because they're super cute. But anyways, until next time, bye guys.